Welcome to 10 Career Questions. My name is Kevin Abnell, and I'm the Executive Director of the York County Alliance for Learning. This video is part of a series of interviews where we speak to various professionals working within each of the 16 nationally recognized career clusters. The purpose of this series is to get to know people working within each career cluster and to help promote a better understanding of various career paths. Resources like this video are intended to help promote career awareness and career exploration as students move closer to making important career decisions. Today we'll be speaking to someone who works within the Information Technology Career Cluster. This career cluster is focused on building linkages in information technology occupations for entry-level, technical, and professional careers related to the design, development, support, and management of hardware, software, multimedia, and systems integration services. Today's interview is being presented by Penn State University's York campus, and we sincerely thank them for their support. Thank you for being here today. Welcome to 10 Career Questions. We're going to jump right in with question number 1. What is your name and who do you work for?
My name is Patrick Rumbaugh, and I work for Business Information Group.
Thanks, Patrick. And what's your job title there, and what are some of the things that you do on a day-to-day basis?
I'm the Director of Network Operations, and what I do on a day-to-day basis is supervise a team of senior network engineers, and network technicians who maintain environments, networks, and server infrastructure for our clients.
Great. Now, sort of in a broad sense, the industry that you're in, the information technology industry, could you just describe what that industry entails, typically in your own words?
So what it entails is really maintaining the infrastructure and networks for our clients so that they can continue to utilize their computer networks to run their day-to-day businesses. Yeah.
I think one of the biggest, no, that's great. No, okay. I think one of the biggest, I think one of the biggest misconceptions I've seen is that people think if you go into the IT field, you're going to be working with a lot of hardware and tearing down and installing physical hardware. And I think it seems to be every IT person I talk to says, oh no, we never touch that stuff anymore.
No, so that's correct. Right, yeah. In today's day and age, it's much cheaper to buy computers directly from manufacturers than to build them yourself.
And I imagine repairs are probably pretty much the same vein there. Yep. So Patrick, how long have you worked in the IT field, and what are some of the other past roles or past jobs that you've had?
So I've been in the IT field for a little over 12 years, and during that time, I've held the positions of network engineer, and then I was a supervisor prior to this, and now I'm the director of the division. Great.
Now, to get to this director level, what kind of training or education have you had throughout your career to get to where you are now?
So I first started at YCAL and got a technical degree there, and that got me to a point where I was able to start in this field. Since then, I think what's most important when it comes to the information technology field is how you continue to educate yourself on the latest and the bleeding edge technologies that are out there, so that you can continue to give your employer the best possibility to use our technologies that can support their operations.
Yeah, I've sensed a theme throughout all these 16 different interviews that we're doing. It seems like lifelong learning, continuous education is sort of a theme that it's, no matter what the job, you're always learning. And I imagine in your field, certifications, especially as software and different systems produce new updates and that type of thing, new features, I would imagine certifications are pretty important as well.
Yeah, and that's why it's necessary to recertify, because it changes so often. These certifications aren't a lifetime certification, and you have to recertify strictly because they change so much from year to year.
Now, we were talking about the technical skills. What are some of the personality traits or characteristics that you feel someone successful in your field needs to have?
Communication skills are by far the most important. There are times where you're going to communicate with individuals who are angry that something is broken, and you need to be able to clearly communicate to those that, the issues being reviewed and looked at, and, that we're getting it resolved.
Great. I'll save. I feel like I have a funny comment to make, but I'm going to save that for later because I have a feeling we might get to it a little bit later. What would you say is the best part about your job?
The best part about the job is definitely the people I work with and the clients we serve.
Now, if I flip that around on the other side, when you're helping clients is great, but what about what's the most challenging part of your job, or maybe just the IT industry in general?
The people I work with and the clients we serve.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah. So, hey, there's a lot of good days that you work with the clients that are absolutely great to work with, and end users who are great to work with. And sometimes there's other challenging days, and sometimes that might be that you might not know all the answers to fix that problem, and so the people part is very, very tough.
I completely get that. The comment that I said I was going to hold for later was that probably you don't get a lot of phone calls from clients when things are working great, just to say, hey, things are wonderful. Thanks for this. Thanks for the great job. Well done. You probably get a lot of those calls of, why isn't this working? I hate this technology. And yeah, I would always say when my parents would get frustrated, I was trying to be their IT support. I'd said, this technology is great when it works. Just let's give it some credit. So I would imagine that that's a challenging part of the job, is getting the not so happy clients that call you up from time to time.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Nobody ever calls and says, hey, email's working great today, or the server's working great today. It's always, this isn't working or that isn't working. But that's the reality in which we live in, because they call upon us and expect us to correct those issues. Just like we never call our mechanic and say our car's working great today.
Right.
So there's a lot of parallels in that respect.
I totally get it. A lot of our intended audience that would be watching this video are going to be high school students. So my next question is, in the next 1 to 5 years, what do you think the career outlook is looking like for your industry? Do you think there'll be a need to continuously hire more IT people, or is it looking pretty good in terms of hiring, and maybe there won't be that many job opportunities?
I expect to see it continue to grow. Now there is starting to be somewhat of a shift in security. Continues to be huge, and it will only continue to grow. And cloud, the cloud side of it is also starting to really ramp up. I mean, there's a ton of opportunity out there right now, but as we see people take their data that sits on site at their location, they're starting to move that to servers in the cloud, and you have to have the skill set to do that. So the outlook is very, very good for the information technology field.
Yeah, well, I know just from the security side of things. I mean, I can just say, I won't say which one, but I serve on the board of a financial institution, and when you have roughly 50 employees for the whole company, and 4 of them are working in IT, many of them focusing on security, financial data and security, it's such a huge industry. So yeah, there's certainly, it seems like there's a big shift there, a lot of just trying to keep everyone's data safe. So that's great. The last question, again, keeping in mind that a lot of the people we're talking to here today are high school students, what's the one piece of advice you'd give a high school student that's looking to get into the IT field?
Get yourself a degree. Get some post-secondary education, college, and start to get your feet wet with trainings. There's a lot of different platforms out there that you can start to learn about entry-level certifications like a CompTIA Security Plus or Net Plus or A Plus, and they don't require any prerequisites. You only need to pay for that individual class. Start there. Also, when you have, if you're in that bachelor degree program, the communication classes actually really focus on what they're saying there, because the communication piece will take you a long way. One thing I've always told people is if I have similar people come in and one is entry level, if they're entry level and one is very technical and one has but doesn't have good communication skills and one is non-technical but has great communication skills, I will likely hire the one with good communication skills.
I've heard that quite a bit. Yeah, that's consistent in almost every person I've talked to in different career fields. Communication seems to be the key, and there's no such thing as I'm going to sit in a basement and do my job and never talk to anyone all day. That job just doesn't exist anymore. So that is that's great advice. Really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, Patrick, thank you so much. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate your time, and I just want to say thank you so much. And you have a great day.
Thank you.